Since 1981, Unbound has connected people like you with families worldwide on their self-directed paths out of poverty. A brighter future is possible for these families when we all walk together. Sponsor a child today, and you'll help a family take the first steps on their path. Change their future in just one click. Start walking with your new friend today at unbound.org/walk.
Greetings, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Italis one here coming at you, and a beautiful Monday. Sending mega love shout out to everybody. You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Anchor, and our platform. The links are in the bio. You can see us there and like, share, and subscribe. We thank you for the support. So today is a beautiful day. Happy Monday once again to you guys, and hopefully you are in good health and all is well. Yes, November is quickly moving and we're almost in the new year. A lot of things are transpiring in these last days. A lot of things are happening as we see in this time. But today, I want to talk about betrayal, the loss of innocence. How do I come about this topic? And where do I get this from? Well, I was there reading the book, the holy book, the Bible. And I was reading, I believe in John. I don't know the scripture offhand, but if you ever go to the New Testament, you will see the book of John. And in the book of John, it talk about basically Jesus, and this particular part of John was talking about the communion, the last communion, Passover communion with Jesus, right before they came and arrested him. And basically, he was washing the disciples' them feet, showing his love for them, how they were loyal. And I think at that point, he knew that his time was up and he was at the last, time he was going to be with them. And it said, if I remember correctly, that he didn't even wash Judas' feet, because now he was getting revelation about certain things about Judas. And it stated that, he dipped, his bread in a sap. And when he dipped it in the sap, he said something along these lines: the guy that dips in the sap with him at the same time, this is the guy that is going to betray him. And he said that when Judas dipped the bread in the sap, he just told him, go do what you have to do. And he said that Satan entered him heart. Yeah, and we know the story after that, we know the story after that. They came a little bit later on, but he was already, the wheels were in motion for his crucifixion. And it got me thinking, all what happening in the world right now with people in position of leadership and people who are in family settings and people of power, people of respect, men and women alike. And, you know, sometimes when your back is against the wall, then you know who are really loyal to you and who are dedicated to you, who have respect for you, and who is in your corner, you know. And I started to think about this thing, and I said, man, you know, I lived for a while, and I had some disappointment. And I'm saying Jesus had some disappointment too, you know, because let me tell you, I don't look to no men, you know. I look to Jesus. I look to the story of Jesus, because the story of Jesus just tell every man's story. You know, it tell every man's story. And may I tell you, betrayal is a part of life. As much as people will have it in them head as if we don't want these things to happen, and we believe that yes, the principles of friendship and of leadership still stand, but there is always one. And this is the sad reality. There is always one who will deny these principles, who will take it upon themselves to be aka black sheep or traitor, whatever you want to call them. But there is always one. And you know, even in storylines, you know, of the greatest stories that we can imagine that are written out there, you know, even with God himself, you know, you read about Satan and how Satan was called Lucifer, and Lucifer was up in heaven, and he was amongst the inner circle, you know, in charge of all the angels. But then pride get up in him, and him thinks him better than God. You know, say he betray God and try to take over heaven and claim the throne. I don't know how that is possible. I don't know how it even happened, because he was created by God. But wherever that originate in him, the bottom line, he got thrown out of heaven because of his betrayal. Yeah, so sometimes betrayal is evident, and most time they come in many ways, right? I would think about people who are in abusive relationships, right? Children who are against their parents, and parents who are against their children. You know, neighbors and students who, you know, you have friends and then you're no longer friends for whatever the reason, right? Business partners, you know, and things of that nature. Betrayal is something where all that we face on every level, and it's a loss of innocence, you know, because I don't think nobody wakes up and says, today I'm going to be a betrayer. Nobody wakes up and says, today I'm going to be a traitor. It gradually sneaks in. It starts with doubt, you know. It starts with doubt. It starts with insecurity, you know. it starts with pride, thinking highly of yourself more than you should, or even looking at people and saying, hey, I'm this, I'm that, and then causing friction, and friction now ends up into debates and arguments. And then next thing you know, you're saying, well, I'm better alone, I'm better by myself, I can do it better than this person or that person. Big topic, man, betrayal, man. I mean, I tell you, we have to be careful, because these are signs that you're on a road to destruction, right? You're on a road to pain, right? And people must understand that as much as we want everything that life has to offer, we have to be careful that we don't sabotage or allow ourselves to be sabotaged in being betrayed because of our innocence, right? Now, you don't have to put a wall around yourself, but you must use discernment, right? You must use discernment, and you must walk circumspectly, It was a test, I believe, for Judas. It was a test to see where his loyalty was. It was a test to see if he was a man of integrity. It was a test to see if he could go the extra mile, trusting God that his life was secure. And if he believed in the man that he followed, he could believe, also that God had his back, right? So his faith was tested, and because he failed the faith test, it caused him to betray the man, right? Because for the 3 years he been with him, this man did no wrong. This man was doing good. This man was always providing for him, and never yet he showed him any bad expression or bad mind of any kind. So he basically betrayed him because he was afraid of what? I don't know, right? He was afraid basically because he loved his life more than what he thought, or maybe he thought basically, he had an experience, because a lot of time too, people just on board for the experience, People on board not for the long haul. And when them use you and them done with you, betrayal come. You understand? When them feel like them can't grow no more with you, or them can't make no more money with you, betrayal come. When them feel like, say, them don't love you no more and you can't provide nothing for you no more, betrayal come. Right? And these are the things where we have to watch out for, Even with our family members, our children, you have to be careful. You have to be careful, because sometimes when we have our children and we don't know who them around, we think say them in good hands, sometimes you need to put on a little more security, because people look at these things. They look at your innocence. They look at your trust. They look at, the favor that rests upon you. And some people can't take it. Some people can't take it. So, brethren, you have to stay prayed up. You have to ask the Almighty for understanding, especially in these times. I don't want to go into different topics, but look into the news and look into the current events that are happening around the earth crying out, because the earth has been betrayed, right? The earth crying out. The whole of civilization is crying out because God is not pleased with man. God is not pleased with man's inconsistencies and untruths, right? Lies, deception, corruption. And until man do full inventory of himself, right? Until man repent and say, hey, this is not right with me. This is wrong with me. I need help in this area. I could do better in this area. I can focus more on this area. I can lend a helping hand. All these things are principles, that stand the test of time, right? When you plant, you should reap. When you plant, it should bloom. You should not be planting and you're not seeing any result. It's just not true. There is seed time, there is harvest time. Back again to Judas. 3 years the man there with the Almighty. 3 years. And that man had planted seed into those individuals, the apostles, the disciples. He planted seed in them, And some were blooming, right? Some were blooming. But this one particular man wasn't blooming. This man's heart was being distracted little by little, because it took 3 years for his heart to be distracted until the final communion. It's something about sitting down at the table, It's something about sitting down at the table, and it's something about breaking bread that will never change until the end of time. At the table, men expose themselves. It's truth. At the table, men expose themselves, So, brethren, God bless you, man. Subscribe, like, and share. Italist1. Go to my YouTube, go to my Instagram, go to the platform. The link is in the bios. Support. Drop a comment. I love you. You have a happy Monday. Beware of the betrayers out there. Beware of those who take innocence. Stand firm and put on the full armor of God. Peace out.
The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
And right now, you can save when you shop your faves. Just buy 6 or more participating sale items and save 50 cents each with your card. Baker's, fresh for everyone.